Hi everyone, happy first day of spring. I am so excited that it is spring right now, and we have had a very long winter in many ways, and now the spring, the blooms are beginning to open, and beings, creatures are coming out of hibernation and out of clearings, lots of clearings, lots of refinements, lots of inner alchemy, lots of focusing on what you desire to create, what you desire to bloom within this time in your life, within this time within your experience. So it's a very exciting time, spring. And it's a time for allowing all that has been being alchemized during the winter, all of this inner alchemy, to now become showing itself, now become blooming within you, and allowing you to discover the new frequencies within that space, the new frequencies within that space that desire to arise through you and to come out of you into this world. And some of you, this world might not be necessarily a public space, but within your world, within the world you inhabit, within the environments you inhabit. So winter is such an important time because this darkness that's experienced in the way that it's experienced is there for the fertility of the beingness to go through the changes and deep processes that it needs to go through. And this doesn't happen by living in an eternal summer. You know, this happens by going through the seasons. For me personally, I've lived in eternal summers for times on end. And I've also lived in the cycles that have the seasons. And I feel it's so incredibly important to have the cycles and seasons because they really change the being on so many levels to go through these cycles, to go through these seasons. So that is more of an organic blooming. What I've found in my own experience, at least, is that I prefer to have these cycles and seasons, and they feel very natural to me and natural to my being. So today is the first day of spring, and it feels so good. It's like the trees are budding, the sun is shining, and now the invitation is to come out and play. And the strength card comes up first. So divine lust in the Thoth Tarot and strength in the wild unknown. So this energy is all about allowing that beingness and physical expression, right? Beingness from being to physical expression, to allow that to rise through you, to allow that to be expressed through you, and to give yourself to the divine, to give yourself to your devotion of what lights you up. So whether you are on a path that is wanting fulfillment or pleasure or fun, there's no, right, everything is allowed, everything is acceptable in what you desire for your experience, for your manifestations. But whatever that is for you is important for you. And to not have any judgment upon that, to allow your being to express naturally and how you desire. And what looks natural to you may not look natural to another. What feels like a natural expression to you may not feel in resonance with another. It's about your expression and knowing that all is the self-expressing. All is the self-expressing in any given moment. And so allowing yourself to move in your divine lust, which is what? It's your love for the beloved. It's your desire to express your divinity and to allow that to come forth through you. The electricity, or however you experience the energy of your being and your connectivity with Source. So this is what this springtime invites. It's this opening, it's this blooming, it's your electricity in the way it desires to bloom. So a lot of spring is moving out of the period of darkness, moving into the light, moving into your blooming, moving into your manifestations, because now you've had time to be with everything, to see, to discard so much, to release so much. And many of you at this time, right, all the blooms aren't on the trees yet. So some of you right now will be experiencing this continual release, discarding, letting go. Okay, so this is so important. This is so important to keep releasing what is an illusion within your experience, what is not real. So with what I've noticed so much through my work with clients, through my work with students, is that one of the biggest problems can be a lack of self-inquiry or knowing how to self-inquire. So your self-inquiry, knowing how to answer your own questions. If you have a question, knowing how to receive the answer from Source, knowing that you do have all of the answers within you. It's so incredibly important. So in order to receive a clarity, you must discard what is illusory. So this is a huge part of your unfolding and being on the path and discarding all illusions, what is not you. So this is what allows you to make choices, take actions, and move in this world as yourself in your pure being, which is not clinging to identities, which are what create problems to begin with. So anything in your manifest reality that is creating a problem is always pointing to an identity, mostly, is always pointing to an identity. So if a problem arises in one aspect of your experience, or a manifestation is not occurring in a way that you desire, what you have to ask is, what identity am I holding on to in order for, interesting, okay, my manifestations to flow? I'm using Wild Unknown and the Thoth Tarot together. Prince of Wands and the Eight of Pentacles. So this is really interesting. So this is what arises for this, is your manifestations are being held back by the momentum that you're not releasing. Okay, so let's say that there's something that you've wanted to do and you haven't done it, or there's something that you're doing, but it's a little bit slow going. So what you're holding back is the vitality and the power and the fire of the Prince of Wands. And this is related to your work in the world, what you're creating. So what you're already building. Okay, so in order for this manifestation to come into full fruition for you, what's being asked of you at this time is you need to release more of your momentum and your power into your physical manifestations and your work in the world. So ask yourself, where are you restricting yourself? Where are you holding back your energy? Where are you holding back your voice in your work? Where are you holding back your power, your expression? All of this has to do with creating the manifestations that you want and desire, and allowing that power, the full momentum of that power. Because why you aren't receiving exactly what you desire in that way is because life's asking you, hey, you need to release more of you out there. You need to release more of your power out there, more of your expression. So in that way, what happens if you choose to do that? Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands and Father of Wands. Okay. So if you choose to actually release your momentum, for example, releasing more of the energy which is coming through you in the moment that it is coming through you. So let's say you're a content creator and you get an idea for a video. You hop on the camera right then and you do it and you put it out there. So just notice where you're restricting your energy from going forth into the world. A film that you want to create, a piece of art that you want to create, whatever it is you want to do in your business, whatever it is you're working on, whatever it is you're doing in any industry. Where are you holding that power back? And once you allow that to actually come forth, because what's happening right now is there's an identity that is holding you back from unleashing more of your power. And so you have to be able to see what identity is playing out, because this identity is saying something about you which is restricting your momentum. It's telling you something to do or to not do, which is affecting your behavior and how you move in the world, which restricts the manifestations from coming. So in that way, when you discover what that is and discard it, and you can identify what that is, and Swiftness just fell on the ground. So the Eight of Wands and the Father of Wands. The Father of Wands is what will remain. Swiftness is going to come, going to bring your manifestation, which can happen in the quantum now, in your quantum now reality. And you will be abiding like this as the Father of Wands, the one in their power, the one that takes full self-responsibility over all aspects of your experience. So there are mainly, it's the energy of discovering what that is, what the identity is, which is holding back your power, holding back your momentum, and going to the core, going to the root, following that thread, and discovering what that is, because then what will happen is that will release new inspiration within you. It will release new inspiration, new ideas to come forth, new actions. Because right now, those things aren't taking place. Once the energy is discovered, then you will be met with that in your physical reality. So a lot of this has to do with finances, with your physical manifestations and what you are birthing into reality. 9 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles, and the Empress. So these energies are your physical manifestations, also what is in the womb of your experience and what you are birthing. So as soon as you choose to discover what power you are holding back, and you find out what identity is stopping you from releasing that power, then in that moment, you gain your clarity and you gain your power, and you are able to release whatever that is. You can discard that. It's not original to your true nature, and you can see what it's been doing, how it's been stopping you from moving forward. And from this, you are able to connect source, the source of yourself and your power, with your work in the world and what you are setting out to accomplish. So it's really more of it's an adjustment. It's a subtle adjustment, seeing where you hold back your power and seeing how you can change that by always following it to the root. When you're discarding identities, okay, and let's say there's a veil over it. Let's say I can't quite see it. Okay, but always know that you will be able to see it, that it is you who created the relationship to begin with. So it's you who uncreates the relationship or discards it. Okay, and so once you follow the identity back to the root, you expose it. You're shining the light of consciousness on it, right? This is how you're self-inquiring. This is how you're gaining your powers of discernment. You know, anything that's blocked within your reality can be solved by discovering the identity that's holding it back, because it's always going to come back to a false identity that you are holding on to, which is not allowing the manifestation to come in 100% of the time. It will always be that, because what you will discover once that identity or identities aren't there, all you're left with is your pure being, which is naturally always in the correct manifestations. And there will be a feeling of just allowing with ease and grace within your experience. There won't be worry in that space. So that's how you can know that you're in the right space within your being. It's one of the ways you can know. And from there, lo and behold, the 10 of Pentacles. The 10 of Pentacles arises. As you can see, my wild unknown cards look a little different. Look a little different if you haven't noticed. So that's something else is wanting to speak up, actually, is that it's very important to alchemize your own decks as a magician of your reality, because everyone's using a different formula according to what's going on within their consciousness. So it's not a bad idea, unless you connect with a deck fully, then that's amazing. But if you feel called to alchemize and change your decks according to how you are guided and what is channeled to come through for each of you. So that might be a specific message for some of you here. because other people's formulas can hold you back depending on where you are. Other people's formulas and what they're using can hold you back. So another magician made these 2 decks I'm using. So altering them according to my very own self is important. And then all these things change over time, right? All these things change through our evolution. Okay, but anyways, the 10 of Pentacles now. So now, after all of this work of discarding the identities, discovering what they are, seeing how it's been holding you back, boom. You receive the 10 of Pentacles, which is the full manifestation of your dream. So after all of the alchemy that you've been through these past months of winter, maybe for some of you the past few years, there's been huge cycles of clearing and alchemy that the collective has undergone and has been undergoing. And so this springtime is a freaking celebration for all of us, because this is a blooming into a new chapter, into a new beginning. And so now you're at the precipice of discovering this expansion into your blooming. And the message is always to discard the identities. Discover them, discard them, follow them to the root, follow them to the core. Get used to doing this. Get used to doing this. If you discover an identity, immediately discard it. Discover it, discard it, expose it. Shine it with the light of source. Shine it with the light of the pure awareness. Do not let it stay in your being. Stay in. Do not let it stay in your being. It will mask your true power. It will hold you back from your gifts. It will hold you in lack and scarcity. And that's all identities do. It's what keeps people in poverty. It's what keeps people out of their power. So the more you rise, the more you step up. You're stepping up in what? You're rising in what? In your evolution of your true light, of your true self, of the truth of your being. So I send you guys my love and my energetic support so that you may blossom and grow this spring, so we can all blossom and grow this spring in the most beautiful ways. So I'm so excited for today, and I can't wait for the spring. I'm beyond thrilled. So I send you guys my love and support. If you'd like to work with me one-on-one, I will place the links below for you to work with me. All right, bye guys, have an amazing day.